bikes. I get like verbal tics, you know? I don't have Tourette's. I wish I did. It looks fun. But I'll just yell shit out. It's like a hook on a catchy song, except it's just stuff that I watch. And then, bikes! I just yell it, you know? Over and over. Only like 2 or 3 million times. But I'm obsessed with the show Scared Straight. If you've never seen it, it's tremendous. Here's what they do. In the show, they take kids, middle school and high school kids that are getting in trouble a lot, and they send them to jail for a day. And the idea is that jail will scare the fuck out of the kid, and then he'll get his life together, hence Scared Straight. It's tremendous. I'm obsessed with one episode. It aired once in 1999. Here's what's great. It aired uncensored, which is bananas. And in this episode, they did not send the kids to jail like they normally do. Instead, they sent them to a maximum security penitentiary. Prison. And those prisoners verbally assaulted these kids into crying a lot. And it's the funniest shit I have ever seen in my life. First of all, don't feel like too bad for these kids are super badass. They're not like spitting spitballs in class and they're fucking stabbing other kids. They're badass kids, okay? And they show up to this thing with attitude. Like they walk in, they're like, "What's up? This ain't shit. I run 6th grade. I ain't scared of you, man. Like, can't scare me." And they're greeted by a guy named Crazy Chris. Chris has scars on his face, and the screen freezes, and it says, "Chris killed 6 people, and he's doing a double life sentence." Like, this dude is so bad that when he dies and he's reincarnated, that guy's doing life in prison also. So, this is a bad motherfucker right here. The kids are like squatting around, and Chris is like, "Hey, my name's Crazy Chris. And from now on, you will see me in your nightmares." And the kids are like, "What the fuck? Like, I'm 12. Don't talk to me like that, man. That's crazy." And then he goes, "If I ever see you again, I'll take a bite out of each of you." And they're like, "All right, we're all reformed now. Thank you very much." So, Jesus. But they can't leave. The next guy comes up to him and he goes, "Hold my pocket. Hold my pocket." And he makes kids walk around holding the inside of his pocket. You understand? So he walks, and then they're like, I don't know what you know about prison, but if you're holding on to another dude's pocket, it's going to be a rough day, all right? Not only is this guy making kids hold his, he's talking ridiculous shit to middle schoolers. He's like, "I'm going to make you suck my dick for breakfast every morning." And the kid's like, "I hate breakfast." Funny shit like that. So, he's like, "I'm gonna mush your motherfucking face." And the kid's like, so it's so fucking funny. There's one exchange where this dude, he pulls a kid out of line. The kid's like 13. He weighs, 100 pounds. And he has a bowl cut, okay? He has a bowl cut in prison. It's parted in the middle. And the prisoner goes, "Why are you here?" And the kid's like, "Stealing?" And he goes, "The fuck you took?" And the kid goes, "Bikes?" And he goes, "Bikes!" And that's why I yell bikes all the time. You should see me when we drive by a bike store. Holy shit. I'll be like, "Ah." And my wife, she's pretty over it. She'll go like, "You get one." I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna make this shit count." So I'll pull over, I roll down the window, and I wait until I see somebody checking out one of the sidewalk displays, like with all the bikes out there. And when they find one they really like, and they're like, oh, I like this one, I'll go, bikes! And they're like, what the fuck? And I'll go, stop selling drugs! And I drive up. Great.
Working our way through all those muck-luck countries and listening to their jibber-jabber, I was like, why don't you speak the fucking world's language, asshole? So, good to be here. We were in London yesterday. A couple days ago, we were with the Frogs in Paris. Beautiful city, you know, I hadn't been in years. Beautiful. It is. It's a gorgeous city. And then they're like, "Do you want to know when this was built?" And I'm like, "No." Let's see it. I don't need the whole story. Isn't that annoying at some point when they're like, "Do you want to know how long it took me to make this painting?" No. Just let me look at it and then get out of here. I don't care. Before that was Amsterdam, which is like a utopia. I mean, unbelievable, right? I mean, you take it for granted because it's so close. You walk, it looked like a movie set, and then you're like, there's not even homeless people here? Like, what do you do with them? And they're like, we push them into the canal. As they sleep, they never feel a thing. Really? You're taking that idea home? Before then was Berlin. Well, that. Learn not to ask so many history questions there. They don't even tell you the good stuff. You're like, where'd he shit? What happened? I just asked the wrong person the wrong thing. I was kind of into the history for a second. I was like, I had a driver, you know, and I go, oh, were you here when the wall collapsed? Like when the wall came down? And she was like, yeah. And I go, what was that like? And she was like, it was a fun time. I go, you want to be more specific? And she goes, we ate bananas. I was like, I'm sorry. And she goes, yellow bananas? And I go, yeah, they're always yellow. That's what you did? And she was like, yeah. And I go, to celebrate the fucking end of communism? And she was like, this is what we do in my house. And I was like, no more questions. So, and before that, we were in Budapest, where they are not fucking around. They were like, do you want to throw a rock at a gay right now? I don't think I've got enough money to do that. And they were like, no, for fun. I was like, all right. Yeah, you can hide a few bodies in that place, but
we as a nation, we have been traumatized by these horrific laws and people being imprisoned for having weed, and it highlights the absurdity of not only it having been illegal and so crazy for so many years, but also highlights how the next generation will not believe our stories about it at all. There's a 0% chance they will understand what we're talking about. It'd be like trying to tell a kid now, like, hey, you know, pigeons used to deliver messages to people. They'd be like, the fuck are you saying right now? It'll be the same thing. I'm gonna sit my son down one day and be like, you know, when I was your age, to get weed, I almost died. And he'll be like, why? Was 7-Eleven on fire or something? They didn't sell it at 7-Eleven. Daddy used to get in cars with strangers. Where are we going? Chill out, all right. And 3-hour round trips to buy weed. And if you're like, oh, what kind of weight were you moving? $20 worth of marijuana? That kind of major shit? I bought weed from a dude in a standalone trailer one time. Not a trailer park, a solo trailer. The most terrifying housing situation that exists. Like where other trailer people are like, get the fuck out of here. They kick him out. I just walk up to that shit, 15. And this dude's like, you trying to get a sack? I was like, oh shit, yeah. He goes, we could go do that. I was like, all right, cool. And he goes, we just need to go get it. I was like, you don't fucking have it? Isn't that your sole responsibility? So I tried to play cool. I was like, all right, let's go get it. He goes, I'll go get it. You stay here and watch my place. And I was like, okay. And he goes, there's a 357 and a shotgun on my bed. Anybody comes in here, blast them. Inside, paralysis. But what I said was, that's what's up. Like, yeah, man. And then he stopped at the door and he goes, but don't shoot my mom. I go, can we get a description before we agree to terms? How about a height and weight on old mom? Not everybody agrees on weed. That's fine. I don't care. Like my parents, we don't agree on it. They're not cool with weed. I don't care. They're old. I still love them. My dad's a Vietnam vet. Some of them are cool with weed. Some of them are not. Some of them don't want to talk about Vietnam. My dad does. Some vets are like, I don't want to talk about it. And my dad's like, what do you want to know? Here's what I wanted to know when I was a kid. It's terrible to ask a stranger this, but it was my own father. I'd seen a lot of movies, so I'm like, you're in the war. Did you kill anybody? The first time I asked him that, he goes, no, I didn't. I go, all right, okay. A few years later, I asked him again, did you ever kill anybody? He goes, it wasn't like that. I was a lieutenant. I was in charge of people. It just didn't work like that. I said, okay. And then a few years later, I asked him again. I go, did you ever kill anybody? And he goes, I threw grenades into bunkers. I go, were there people in there? He goes, there were, yeah. Just little pieces by the time I got in there. And then last year I go, did you ever kill anybody? And he goes, there's no better feeling than killing the enemy. Whoa. I can remember the first time we ever talked about weed, because it was Christmas Day. That's why it stood out. I was 12 years old. I think my sister brought it up. She was like, I want to smoke weed. And my dad goes, you want to know what I think of marijuana? And I was genuinely curious. I go, what, Dad? He goes, I was at a party one time, and somebody pulled out a marijuana cigarette. And I said, I'm out of here. And I was like, cool story, nerd. You got any other ones? And he goes, well, yeah, one time I was in Vietnam, and some Viet Cong tried to sell my Marines marijuana. So I found him, and I picked him up by his throat, and I threw him on the ground, and I put my M16 in his face, and I said, if you ever come here again, I'll fucking kill you. And I go, do you have any stories in between those two stories? Jesus, it's Christmas, bro. God damn. 2 years after that, there was a woodpecker fucking up our house. This will all make sense. And woodpeckers can really damage your house. I remember my dad paid a guy $500 to patch up that part of the house. A month later, the woodpecker returned. This time, my dad did not call the guy. He woke me up, his teenage son, on a Saturday morning. Picture you're dead asleep, and my dad whispering in your ear with his potent dad breath. He just whispers in my ear, dead asleep. He goes, I need you to shoot a bird. I just go, I don't do that. And he goes, figure it out. So I said, okay, Lieutenant. And I got an air rifle. I shot the woodpecker. I remember I shot it mid-peck, so it was going like, landed in front of me, so much bigger up close, really big, red feathers, distinct features. I was blown away. I bagged it up, I threw it away, and then I went over to my girlfriend's house. I started telling her family about it over lunch. I should mention, at the time, my girlfriend's family ran a wildlife conservation center, so I didn't know my audience. But I heard a few forks drop, and I look up, and her dad goes, oh my God, you killed a long-billed woodpecker. That's an endangered species. And I go, oh. I said, my dad made me do it. And he goes, how does that make you feel, knowing that you did that? And I said, there's no better feeling than killing the enemy. And it's fucking awesome. I loved it. Those birds are extinct now. I did that shit. I don't give a fuck. I'm crazy. So.
I think the gayest I ever was in February. That's when I did my shows in Los Angeles, and Brad Pitt came to my show. Look, I do not know what year he was born or how many infants he consumes in a week, but that man is stunning, all right? He came into my dressing room. I couldn't make eye contact. Do you understand? Like, I was like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? He goes, look at me. I was like, no. He goes, come on. I said, shut up. He goes, you want to give me a kiss? I was like, yeah. He goes, do it. I'm like, I got it. What? It wasn't gay. We took a bath later. That was gay. But we talked about sports, so it balanced out, you know? I think the gayest I ever was in February. That's when I did my shows in Los Angeles, and Brad Pitt came to my show. Look, I do not know what year he was born or how many infants he consumes in a week, but that man is stunning, all right? He came into my dressing room. I couldn't make eye contact. Do you understand? Like, I was like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? He goes, look at me. I was like, no. He goes, come on. I said, shut up. He goes, you want to give me a kiss? I was like, yeah. He goes, do it. I'm like, I got it. What? It wasn't gay. We took a bath later. That was gay. But we talked about sports, so it balanced out, you know? I hate